Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Recruiting Wednesday here on the Westmoreland Sports Network as we continue to cover local high school athletes making their commitments to play at the next level. Jack Ridenour with you all today, and I'm joined by Belle, Vernon sensation and recent University of Pittsburgh football commit, Devin Whitlock. Devin, thanks so much for joining us here today on WSN. First off, congrats on the huge commitment. How does it feel to have that decision finally made?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me too. It's a big relief, big thing to stay home in Pittsburgh. I didn't know where I was going to go. It came down to a last minute decision, and it's just going to be great to have all my family be able to come down and get a chance to watch me play.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool that you get to stay local and stay home. Now, want to dive into obviously why you decided on Pitt. Was being local and staying home a big reason why you wanted to go to Pitt?
That was a reason, but I wasn't just looking to stay home. I was really looking for, the best opportunity, the best offer for myself.
Now, would you say that it was hard for you to turn down the other offers that you had? I mean, you had a lot of other offers on the table, so was it hard for you to walk away from those?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a couple, great offers. St. Francis. I had Army was a great offer that I had. Navy got in touch with me, but Coach Narduzzi came to my house actually, on a home visit, and I think that's really what solidified, me making my decision.
Now, you rattled off tons of schools there, and I have to ask, I mean, you're probably, during the season especially, lots of coaches trying to get in contact with you. Your phone's probably buzzing nonstop. What was it like having all of that off-field attention, but then also having to stay focused with the season going on?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a little difficult, but, during the season, I wasn't really looking at any of that stuff. I wasn't worried about where I was going to college. I was worried about, who we was playing that weekend and who we got after them. You know what I mean?
So how would you say that you stayed so focused? I mean, was it just, like you said, just being prepared for the next opponent or kind of that chase for the championship? I mean, what was it that allowed you to stay so focused? Because I'm sure there were many times where, you had a coach calling you or texting you, and it was probably very distracting because it's talking about the future of your football career, but you're trying to stay in the present, right? You're trying to stay in the here and now. So how did you stay focused on all of that?
My team was a great help with that, just staying on me every day, trying to get in the weight room every day after school, no matter what we're doing. If we're not at practice, getting up to the field, and just having that want to win everything. And we went undefeated all the way until the championship game. So, it was just a drive that our whole team had, and I think that's really what pushed me.
Well, we'll obviously dive into the sensational season that you all had this year at Belle, Vernon, but I want to get into kind of what your mentality was and what your mindset was coming into this season. I mean, was there anything that you had worked on during the offseason, during training camp, that you wanted to apply immediately to the start of the season?
Yeah, I was in the offseason working on my legs, speed, change of direction, all that stuff there just to get a little bit faster, make my cuts more precise. And, that's basically it.
Now, would you say that there are any players that you tried to model your game after, or did you find yourself watching any certain player more than you had before to try and model your game after them?
Not really. I wouldn't really say that. I would say I just been trying to perfect my craft, perfect everything that I'm good at and just try to get better at those little things that I need to get better at.
Well, you had a great season. A great season would actually be an understatement to say. I mean, you guys really had an awesome year. You had an awesome year. Now, coming out of last year, though, losing in the championship to Thomas Jefferson, and then heading into this season in the start of week 1, week 0, how would you say that the mentality of your team kind of changed after that loss last year to Thomas Jefferson, and then heading into this year? I mean, what were some changes that you noticed on your team?
Yeah, well, we had a couple seniors, the year before, and we had some young guys step up a little bit here and there. But whenever we lost them, we lost 2 main starters on the line. We lost our running back, Quentin Martin stepped up big time. And, we had a couple just young kids, just playing, doing the things that they needed to do. And, as long as they did that, we was going to get the job done.
Well, you guys definitely got your revenge against Thomas Jefferson this year. I mean, a huge, exciting, down-to-the-wire game. And you, my friend, putting the cherry on top, the icing on the cake, whatever you want to call it, scoring that game-winning touchdown. Before I ask you what that moment was like after, because I'm sure it was a wild, crazy moment after, but in the middle of that play, right? During that play, during everything's unfolding, first off, what did you kind of see? What were you looking for? I mean, you looked like you were looking for someone downfield, but then a lane kind of opened up for you. So were you kind of just feeling out what the defense was giving you, or did you kind of have a plan and you wanted to go out and execute that?
Well, yeah, all props to my head coach, Matt Humpert. He called that play from the sideline, from the huddle. And it was basically just a two-step drop back and hit the C gap. My tight end's coming down and kicked the fullback out, and I got a lineman wrapping around. And I just seen all green whenever Cole Waitman was my tight end. He pancaked Jordan Mayer. It was just so smooth. It just opened the whole lane up, and the rest was history.
Now, what were those moments like just a few seconds after that touchdown gets scored? Your teammates come and celebrate. I mean, what's it like after that, getting in the locker room and there's the following days after that? I mean, what was it like being around that much buzz and you really being the center of it?
The feeling is really undescribable, just so much love from everybody, in the community, and just to see how much that we mean to them and how much that game meant to everybody, not just the football team. It meant a lot. And the moment, the locker room was definitely turned up. We was waiting for that one for sure for a long time.
Yeah, I know that you guys have gone back and forth with TJ over the years, and obviously with last year in the championship. I'm sure that, that revenge, that win that you guys got felt a little bit sweeter. Did it feel a little bit sweeter, even though it wasn't in a championship setting, but you still won in dramatic fashion against an arch rival? I mean, did it feel a little rewarding at the end?
Absolutely, absolutely. Any game, hard fought game against a rival is going to feel rewarding. But I feel like our players just never gave in one time. And we lost 3 seniors this year during the season. And even the younger kids stepped up and did what they have to do so we could be successful.
Well, success was, right in the middle of your playbook the entire season for this team. You guys had a tremendous run, ultimately falling short in the championship. But I want to hear from you. What was your message to the team, to the locker room, to everybody involved at Belle Vernon? And what did you have to say to all of them? Because you being a senior, going on, continuing your football career, the amount of success that you've had, I'm sure that there was probably a few things that you wanted to say. What were some words of advice or words of encouragement you shared for those younger guys that are going to continue to be coming up in Belle Vernon?
I always tell them, it flies past so quick. I could just remember being in Manessa my freshman year. Remember coming over my sophomore year, coming to my first practice, was flying in second. Don't take anything for granted. And just, out of everything, just have fun when you're playing. Like it's competitive and you want to be doing everything right. But at the end of the day, you got to have fun to play the game.
Fun is the most important part of it all. You hear that all the time. And I know it sounds like a very old cliche and old saying in sports, but it's true, right? Like you said, you want to have fun doing, what you're doing. You don't want to go out and have to almost feel that feeling of you're being forced to do it, right? So I think that's a very important message that you share. Now, getting into this offseason and getting ready for coming up at going to Pitt and whatnot, and then training camp and so on and so forth, what are you going to be focusing on during this offseason before you arrive on campus?
I'm gonna focus on getting faster. I want to get wherever my 40 time is, high 4.4, low 4.5 to a low 4.4. Around that time, and just work on my explosiveness, my hands, and just getting stronger all around.
Well, my friend, it's going to be an exciting next stage in your career, Devin. I really appreciate your time. Congrats again today. But before I let you go, one last question. I just want to hear from you as you enter this next stage of your career. When you look back at your time at Belle Vernon, I mean, what are you going to remember most fondly?
I'm definitely going to remember this season. This season was probably the most memorable. Just how everything turned out. We was taking just started out from week 2. We played Penn Trafford. They won the 5A state championship, 5A Whippy. After that, we started losing people, going downhill, and I'll just never forget how everybody just stepped up and played a role that they wasn't used to. You know what I mean? And I couldn't be more proud than the team I played in Belle Vernon history.
That's awesome, man. Well, yeah, that's great. And the amount of pride and the feeling that you have, you can carry that over into your next stage and your next career at Pitt. Again, my friend, really appreciate your time today. Good luck moving forward, and stay safe, stay well. We'll chat soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.